All right, ready to dive into something really fascinating.
I'm ready. What are we looking at today?
It's one of those texts everyone's heard of, the Bhagavad Gita,
Ah, yeah, fascinating stuff.
but we're going deep with a very specific edition from 1993
Oh,
from the Central Archaeological Library in New Delhi,
okay.
published by Star Publications.
Interesting.
This one's edited by Ashok Kaushik,
All right.
and what makes this one special,
Yeah.
it has the text side by side in Sanskrit, Hindi, and English.
Ah, very cool. That's useful.
So our mission today is to really unpack this edition,
Oh,
get to the heart of the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita
yeah,
and how it applies to us today.
absolutely. The Bhagavad Gita is so much more than just a war story tucked into the Mahabharata. It's
Definitely.
like this philosophical powerhouse.
It is. It's amazing. So picture this. The battlefield of Kurukshetra,
Okay.
two massive families. The Pandavas and the Kauravas are about to clash,
Right.
and King Dhritarashtra, who's blind,
Okay.
is understandably freaking out.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He asks his advisor, Sanjaya, to be his eyes on the battlefield.
Makes sense.
But Sanjaya doesn't just see things.
Oh.
He's got this clairvoyant ability.
Whoa. So he's like getting a live feed.
Yeah, like a live feed
Uh-huh.
from the front lines.
Oh, wow.
And he starts describing the armies.
Okay.
And it's not just this mass of soldiers.
Yeah.
He focuses on these key figures.
Oh, interesting.
So on the Pandava side,
All right.
you've got Bhima, known for his strength,
Yeah.
and Arjuna, this incredible archer.
Right, yeah.
And then you have Satyaki, known for his loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
and King Drupada, a really strong leader.
Okay, so it's like this Warrior Hall of Fame showdown.
Exactly.
Early, so.
And then on the Kaurava side,
Okay.
you have figures like Bhishma, this really wise elder everyone respects,
Yeah.
and Drona, the master strategist.
Oh, wow.
The tension is palpable. You could practically hear the chariots creaking.
I bet.
And then Bhishma blows his conch shell, and it's like someone hit the start battle button.
That's intense.
But of course, the real story is about Arjuna having this major freak out moment.
Oh, right.
What's going on with him in all this chaos?
So picture this. Arjuna looks across the battlefield,
Okay.
and it suddenly hits him. He's about to fight his own family,
Oh, no.
his teachers, everyone he respects.
Oh, that's awful.
And he has this total emotional breakdown.
Right there in his chariot.
Yeah, right there in the chariot. He even says, "My limbs give way, my mouth is parching. A shiver runs through my body, and my hair stands upright."
Yeah. So it's more than just pre-battle jitters then, right?
Oh, yeah. Arjuna's wrestling with this huge dilemma. His duty as a warrior versus his love for his family.
Oh, wow.
He starts questioning everything. What's the point of a kingdom?
Right.
Of victory?
Yeah.
Even of life itself if it means killing his own people.
So he's basically questioning the whole point of existence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He even argues that destroying family and traditions will just lead to chaos, the breakdown of society.
Right.
And this is where things get interesting, because at this moment of total despair,
Yeah.
his charioteer, Krishna, steps in.
Okay, but Krishna isn't just any charioteer. It's an avatar of God.
Right. So cue the divine intervention.
Does Krishna just tell him to suck it up and go fight?
Well, not quite. Krishna starts by gently reminding Arjuna of this fundamental truth.
Yeah.
The soul is eternal and indestructible.
Okay.
He says it's like changing clothes.
Oh, okay.
The soul just puts on a new body.
Right.
He even compares the soul to a flame that can't be burned by fire,
I see.
or a wind that can't be dried by air.
So right away, Krishna's shifting the whole perspective,
Yes.
looking beyond the physical battle to something much bigger.
Exactly.
And this is where the idea of the soul, something you probably already have some thoughts on,
Yeah.
gets really fascinating.
It does.
So we're back and talking about the Bhagavad Gita.
Picking up where we left off with Arjuna facing this big dilemma on the battlefield,
Yeah.
and Krishna, this divine charioteer,
Right.
offering some profound wisdom
Yeah.
about the eternal soul and selfless action.
Exactly. And we were starting to see how the Gita's ancient wisdom
Yeah,
can apply to our lives today,
for sure.
even if we're not warriors facing an actual battle.
Right. But it's not easy to just detach from the outcome of our actions, is it?
It isn't. It's one thing to say, act selflessly,
Right.
but how do you actually put that into practice?
That's where Krishna's teachings about this interplay
Okay.
between Sankhya Yoga, the path of knowledge,
Okay.
and Karma Yoga, the path of action,
Right.
becomes super relevant.
Okay, so remind me, Sankhya Yoga is about understanding the true nature of reality.
Yes.
And Karma Yoga is about putting that understanding into action.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the Gita emphasizes that true liberation doesn't come from just sitting around and thinking about things.
Right.
It's about acting in the world, but acting with the right kind of understanding.
So it's not about renouncing all action.
No.
It's about finding this balance between wisdom and action.
Yeah, a great way to put it. And to illustrate this balance, Krishna uses a lot of vivid metaphors.
Okay.
He talks about the senses being like wild horses
Okay.
that need to be tamed. If we just let our senses run wild, they'll drag us all over the place. And we'll end up making choices we regret.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that. It's like when you know you should be eating healthy,
Yeah,
but that chocolate cake just keeps calling your name.
exactly. Perfect example. Krishna also compares the mind to a chariot.
Okay.
The intellect is the charioteer.
Mm-hmm.
The senses are the horses.
Okay.
And the self, the true you, is the passenger.
I'm visualizing this chariot now.
Yeah.
So our intellect, our ability to reason and make choices,
Yes.
is supposed to be holding the reins, guiding those wild horses of our senses.
Exactly. And if our intellect is weak or distracted,
Yeah.
the senses will take over.
Wow.
And we'll end up going wherever our impulses lead us.
Which, let's face it, doesn't always end well.
No, it doesn't. And the Gita emphasizes that our desires aren't inherently bad.
Okay.
It's the attachment to those desires, the clinging and craving that creates suffering.
So how do we break free from this constant cycle of desire and suffering? Is it even possible?
This is where the practice of karma yoga comes in.
Okay.
By performing our actions with detachment,
Hmm.
focusing on the act itself rather than the potential reward,
Okay.
we can gradually loosen the grip of desire
Okay.
and experience more freedom and peace.
So it's like finding joy in the process,
Yeah.
not just the outcome.
Exactly.
But that sounds so hard. How do you even train yourself to be detached?
The Gita uses this example of King Janaka,
Okay.
who was a wise and righteous ruler,
Right.
and he performed his duties diligently,
Mm-hmm.
not for personal gain or glory,
Okay.
but as a service to his people.
So he was a king, but he wasn't attached to the power or the perks that came with it.
Exactly. He understood that his true purpose was to serve others.
Right.
And by dedicating his actions to a higher cause, he achieved liberation.
That's a pretty inspiring example, but it's easy to see how that could apply to a king.
Yeah.
What about us regular folks? How can we apply this idea of detached action in our everyday lives?
The Gita makes it clear that liberation is accessible to everyone,
Okay.
regardless of our social status or job.
So whether we're a CEO or a cashier,
Yes.
a parent or a student,
Yeah,
we can all work towards this inner freedom.
absolutely. The key is to practice.
Okay.
Krishna compares this process of stilling the mind
Yeah.
to taming a wild horse.
Yeah.
It takes patience,
Mm-hmm.
discipline, and the right techniques.
So what are some of those techniques? Give me some practical tips.
The Gita emphasizes meditation and mindfulness.
Okay.
It's about training yourself to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them.
So it's like being the witness to your own mental chatter
Yeah.
instead of getting lost in the drama.
That's a great way to put it. And remember, this is a gradual process.
Right.
We don't expect to become perfectly detached overnight.
It's like learning any new skill.
Exactly.
You have to practice consistently, be patient with yourself,
Yeah,
and celebrate those small victories along the way.
absolutely. And as we progress on this journey of self-discovery,
Yeah.
we start to see things differently.
Yeah.
We begin to understand the interconnectedness of all things, our connection to something larger than ourselves.
So it's not just about personal liberation then.
It's not just personal, no.
It's about seeing ourselves as part of a bigger picture.
Yes. And this realization naturally leads to more selfless actions,
Right.
more compassion, more kindness towards others.
It's like that saying, we're all in this together.
Exactly. And the more we act with kindness and compassion,
Yeah.
the more we contribute to creating a better world for everyone.
This is pretty mind-blowing stuff. It's
Mhm.
incredible how these ancient teachings
Yeah.
can still be
Oh.
so relevant and applicable to our lives today.
The Bhagavad Gita truly is a timeless masterpiece.
It is.
It speaks to the core of the human experience,
Mhm.
regardless of our cultural background or beliefs.
I'm definitely feeling a sense of hope and inspiration, but I'm also curious to hear more about that cosmic vision
Yes.
that Arjuna experienced.
That's where things get really exciting.
Yeah.
In the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we'll explore Krishna's full revelation of his divine form
Right.
and how it leads to Arjuna's final transformation.
Okay, so welcome back to our deep dive into the Bhagavad Gita.
Back for more.
We've explored Arjuna's crisis of conscience, the nature of the soul,
Yeah.
and the path of selfless action, karma yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And we've even seen how these teachings can help us today.
Right, in our own lives.
But there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't really explored yet.
Oh.
That moment when Krishna reveals his true cosmic form to Arjuna.
Ah, right.
It's like the climax of the whole story.
Yeah, it is. This is where the Gita goes beyond philosophical dialogue.
And enters this realm of mystical experience.
Okay, color me intrigued. What leads to this grand reveal?
So Arjuna, despite all this wisdom Krishna has shared,
Yeah.
is still struggling to grasp it all.
Okay.
He's like, I need to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
He asks Krishna to show him his divine form.
Wow.
To give him like tangible proof of this cosmic power he's been describing.
So he needs that visual.
Yeah, he needs to see it. And Krishna, in his infinite compassion,
Yeah.
agrees to grant Arjuna's wish.
So what happens? Does Krishna suddenly sprout wings and a halo?
It's way more intense than that.
Mm-hmm.
Sanjaya, who's narrating all of this to King Dhritarashtra,
Right.
describes it as this overwhelming, awe-inspiring spectacle.
Wow.
He says Krishna reveals this form that encompasses the entire universe.
The whole universe.
Yeah, a form with countless faces, eyes,
Ooh.
adorned with these celestial weapons and ornaments.
Wow, that must have been quite a sight. So what's Arjuna's reaction to all of this? He's completely overwhelmed. Sanjay describes him like trembling in awe and reverence.
Mm-hmm.
He sees all the warriors from both sides
Wow.
being drawn into this magnificent form,
Yeah.
as if they're all just tiny parts of something much larger.
So Krishna is showing him the interconnectedness of everything.
Exactly.
How even these warring armies are ultimately part of this unified whole.
Precisely. It's this profound vision of unity that transcends
Yeah.
the conflict and division of the battlefield.
So he's saying, look beyond the surface, see the bigger picture.
Exactly. And through this cosmic vision, Krishna reveals that he is everything,
Wow.
and everything is him. He's the source of all creation, the force that sustains it,
Right.
and the ultimate destination of everything.
That's a pretty mind-blowing concept. It's like realizing that we're all connected.
Yeah.
That even in our differences, there's this underlying unity.
Yeah, exactly. And this realization transforms Arjuna's perspective.
Okay.
He sees the battle, his role in it,
Mm-hmm.
in a completely new light.
So does he throw down his weapons and call for peace?
Well, not exactly. Remember, the Gita's message isn't about renouncing action altogether.
Right.
It's about acting with the right understanding,
Mm-hmm.
with detachment from the results.
So does he go back into battle with a newfound sense of purpose?
Yes. Having witnessed Krishna's cosmic form,
Right.
Arjuna understands that his actions aren't about personal gain or glory.
Okay.
He's no longer fighting out of anger or hatred,
Right.
but as an instrument of the divine will.
Wow. That's a powerful shift.
Yeah.
It's like he surrendered his ego
Yeah.
and embraced this higher purpose.
Exactly. He's found freedom within the framework of duty.
So this is the ultimate message of the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
To find that freedom within ourselves.
Yeah.
To act selflessly.
Yes.
And ultimately surrender to something greater than ourselves.
You got it. It's
Uh.
about aligning ourselves with the divine will,
Hmm.
not in this passive or fatalistic way,
Right.
but as active participants in this cosmic dance of creation.
This has been quite a journey, exploring the depths of despair,
It has.
the heights of spiritual revelation, and everything in between. It really has. The Bhagavad Gita truly is a timeless treasure.
It really is.
Its teachings offer these profound insights
Mhm.
into the nature of reality, the meaning of life,
Yeah,
and the path to liberation.
absolutely.
It's given me a lot to reflect on, that's for sure. What about you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For me, it's this reminder
Yeah.
that even in the midst of chaos and uncertainty, there's this underlying order,
Right.
that cosmic harmony that connects us all.
Beautifully said. And for our listener, as you go about your day,
Yeah,
consider this. How can you bring a bit of that cosmic harmony into your own life?
it's a great question.
Maybe it's through a moment of mindful reflection,
Yeah,
an act of kindness.
or just approaching your tasks with a renewed sense of purpose.
Exactly. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that the path to liberation isn't out there somewhere.
It's not out there.
It's within us, waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.
It's been a pleasure.